So the first topic I'm going to talk about is that there's a rumors going around that Gareth Edwards is going to direct Thor 5. Now, he did respond to those rumors, and it doesn't sound like he's going to be directing the movie. Now, if he did, and again, this is more of my thoughts of basically what if he was announced to be the director of Thor 5. I think it would be a great choice, and I would be excited for him as a choice to direct Thor 5 because he would definitely been something unique and different for the Thor franchise because obviously his movies are very serious, dark, and grounded. And it would definitely be a fresh perspective on the Thor franchise because they definitely need to reinvent the Thor character again now. Obviously, Thor Love and Thunder, if you like or love that movie, that's fantastic. I'm happy for you. But that movie went too far in the goofy direction. And I have no problem with humor. Like, to me, I love the first Thor movie. I love Thor Ragnarok. I thought Taika Waititi came in, reinvented the character, gave it a fresh perspective. I thought he had a great balance with the humor in Thor Ragnarok and the badass serious Thor. But in Thor Love and Thunder, it was like they let Taika Waititi off the leash in that movie. And he kept like repeating jokes in that movie at times too for me personally, where I was like, in Thor Ragnarok, we have Krog talking about the whole special relationship with Thor's hammer. That was funny. And then in Thor Love and Thunder, they kept going back to that joke and amping up the joke multiple times, where it's just like it was more funny in the one scene in Ragnarok where they talked about it, but you don't need to actually show it, and then you just keep going back to it again and again and making it more sillier. And that's kind of one of the issues I had with The Love and Thunder. It was like the goofiness was ramped up to like 11. It was just too much. You went way too far in that one direction. So I definitely think Gareth Edwards would definitely been a more serious approach. And I think you can still have humor in the Thor movie, in my opinion. Like I said, the first Thor and Thor Ragnarok. Love those two Thor movies. They had humor in those movies. They had a great balance. It's all about just balancing it out. And but overall, I think he would be just a great choice to direct the Thor movie. If he was announced and and Marvel said they were picking him to direct the next Thor movie because obviously Thor 5 is in development. It's probably gonna be Chris Hemsworth's last time playing Thor. Like I could see him doing that and coming back for the next two Avengers movies and that being Ed for him. But I think when it comes to him, Gareth Edwards being a choice to direct the Thor movie, I think he's a great choice personally. He would definitely bring something different, like I said, to the franchise that you need right now. The next thing I want to talk about is that Saw 11 has been announced. Now, I love Saw X, and obviously Saw X made 108 on a very low budget. So it was a financially a hit, and it was a critical hit. I mean, it got the best reviews out of the Saw movie. I think it has like an 80% area. And I would definitely say it's the best Saw movie. And to me, it made me excited for the Saw franchise again. Like, I love the first three Saw movies, but the franchise just went downhill when it got to like Saw 4 do Spiral. And for the first time, I'm actually excited after seeing a Saw movie. So I think Saw X did a great job. I think this is great news is that we're going to see more Saw movies. There was no story details released whether this is going to stay in that timeline of Saw X, which was an in-between sequence between 1 and 2. So, I mean, I hope it stays in that timeline because I know they even admitted people behind the movie said they regretted killing off Jigsaw at the end of Saw 3, and I think that was as like I love Saw 3. I think that's a great trilogy, but I think when you cut off Jigsaw, and even though you appeared in flashbacks with Saw 4 do Jigsaw, I think when you cut off the John Kramer character, the franchise, this is my opinion, is one of the reasons why it went downhill. And I just love seeing that the movie that was focused on John Kramer on Jigsaw and Saw X, that he was the center of focus. And I love seeing Amanda back, and I do hope they stay in that timeline. But I'm just excited to see another Saw movie after the quality of Saw X, which was just a great return to form for the franchise. The next thing I want to talk about is they put out a trailer for Beverly Hills Cop 4. Now, I'm a big Beverly Hills fan. I love the first Beverly Hills movie. I enjoyed the second one. It's not as good as the first one, but still an enjoyable sequel. The third one sucked. And I know they've been talking about doing a Beverly Hills Cop 4 for years. I gotta say, for the first trailer, this was a great trailer. The only thing I worry about is that it says it's coming on Netflix next year in the middle of 2024, and Netflix is just very look. They put out a good movie once in a while, but they also put out a lot of crap too. So that's the only thing. One of the only things I worry about. I also worry about the fact that I hope this isn't like one of those Eddie Murphy sequels, like Coming to America, where it's just really bad. But trailer wise, this got me excited. This was just a great trailer. I felt like it got the edginess and the seriousness of the original Beverly Hills Cop with trying to have some humor in there too, like the second one. Where the second one was kind of more of humor and seriousness. I feel like it tried to definitely go for that tone in the second one. And Eddie Murphy looks like he's having fun in this trailer. I love seeing all the characters back. The accent looks really good. Because to me, the first two movies have some great accent in there too. And just overall, I thought this was a great first trailer. It did what a trailer said. It got me excited for Beverly Hills Cop 4, and hopefully this ends up being one of those sequels to an older franchise that ends up being really good. The next thing I wanted to talk about is that there was this trailer put out for this movie called If, with Ryan Reynolds starring in it. It's directed by John Krasinski, who did the Quiet Place movies. I know he did two other movies before that, but I didn't see those two movies. And when I saw his name in the trailer, I was like, well, that right there makes me excited because I love the Quiet Place movies. And watching those movies, I could tell he's a great director. And I'm a fan of Ryan Reynolds. I think he's a funny guy. And I think and he showed to me in other movies he can be serious too. But I thought this trailer was just a nice, sweet, fun trailer. Like I love the plot of like being these creatures being imaginary friends for from kids that forgot about them and only this girl can see them. So I thought that was really cute. And overall it just had a nice feel good, warm hearted feel to the trailer where it's one of those movies that I feel like it's gonna be one of those movies that makes you feel good about the world. And just sometimes you need movies like that. So I thought this trailer for If was just a great first trailer for this movie, and it made me excited to want to see this movie actually. So I definitely recommend check out the trailer for If. There was also behind the scenes thing they put out for it, which I thought was really funny too. So I think this was a great trailer, and this is definitely one of those movies I'm really looking forward to now. The last thing I want to talk about is that Fango put out the list of most anticipated movies coming out in 2024. And I think this is a great list. These are all movies I'm excited for, except for one. There's only one movie on this list that I don't feel either way about because I haven't seen the movies in the franchise. So it's basically the top 10 movies people are excited for in 2024. Quiet Place, day one. Can't, can't wait for that, obviously, because I love, like I said, the Quiet Place movies. And I think the world is really cool, and I love the whole idea of it being a prequel where you explore the first day of when this event happened. And well, like I said, the quality of the Quiet Place movies were fantastic. So right there, I'm just excited for based on that fact. Gladiator 2, love the original Gladiator movie. I'm excited to see the story that they're going with where it's about the kid from that movie and him older instead of the original story they had. And it was a Gladiator movie. It's just one of my favorite Russell Crowe movies, and I can't wait to see the sequel. Lord of the Rings, the War of Rohan. I think that's supposed to be like an animated movie that's doing for Lord of the Rings, and I'm just excited on the fact that look, I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. Like the trilogy of Lord of the Rings films is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. And that talking about whether you watch the theoretical or Senate cuts of those three movies, that's just one of the best trilogies of all time, in my opinion. And I love the world of Lord of the Rings. So, and I also think it would be cool to see kind of an animated movie in that format. So that would be really cool. Inside Out too. Love the first Inside Out, one of Pixar's best movies in my opinion. So definitely can't wait for that. Despicable Me 4. This is what I'm talking about. Where I haven't seen any of the Despicable Me movies, so I don't really have one way. I don't have like feelings one way or another towards my excitement for that movie because I just haven't seen the past three movies. So I'm just kind of lukewarm when it comes to that movie. I just don't have feelings one way or another. But I can definitely see why it's on the list because those movies make a lot of money and they're all popular animated movies. Next one, Venom 3. Can't wait for that either because I actually love Venom, like to be honest. I enjoyed the first Venom movie, but I didn't love it. But I did love the second one. And look, Venom is a popular character. There's a lot of people out there that have a lot of fun with those movies. I mean, they don't get the best critical score. Like the first Venom movie, I think has 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, so critics didn't like it. And then Let the Be Carnage had a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes. So critics, were split on that movie. They liked it more than the first one. They both have high audience scores. And look, I'm not gonna lie, I love Venom Let There Be Carnage. It's some reason the second Venom movie broke for me more than the first movie. So I am personally excited for Venom 3. And those movies make a lot of money. So Doom Part 2. I love the first Doom movie, so I can't wait for the second one. I know originally it was supposed to come out this year, got moved to next year. They put out like a new trailer for it. Was again like every trailer I see for this movie, it just looks fantastic. And like I said, I love the first Doom movie, so I'm really excited to see the next part of this story. Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. Definitely another one I would be excited for because I love the original Ghostbusters movie. I'm a big Ghostbusters fan. And Ghostbusters Afterlife, I loved. It personally got me excited for the franchise again. And I thought the trailer for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire looked great. So I'm definitely excited to see, more of the new characters from Afterlife and the original characters as mentors. Just overall, I can't wait to see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Beetlejuice 2, love the original Beetlejuice, can't wait for the sequel. To me, it's one of Tim Burton's best movies, one of my favorite, and also one of my favorite Michael Keaton roles. Like, he's fantastic as Beetlejuice in the original movie. So definitely can't wait for the sequel. Then Deadpool 3 was number one. Which I am not surprised by that. Look, I can't wait for Deadpool 3. To me, it's the most anticipated comic movie coming out next year. I love the first Deadpool movie. I enjoyed Deadpool 2. It's not as good as the first one personally for me, but I still think it's an entertaining sequel. And those movies make a lot of money. He's a popular character. And the fact that, look, you're having Hugh Jackman as Wolverine coming back, finally in a costume, and him and Deadpool teaming up or fighting each other. I mean, that's definitely making me, I'm definitely excited to see those two characters together in a film for the first time. For real this time, not like Origins where, yeah, the whole Deadpool mount sewn and you only saw like Wade Wilson at the beginning of that movie. But actually seeing the characters for real together in a film. So not, I mean, not for the first, like I said, not for the first time because you did see them in Origins, two characters, but Deadpool in costume, Wolverine in costume. I can't wait for Deadpool 3. Now, I did notice three comic book movies that weren't on that list. Joker 2 is another movie I'm excited for. We're talking about just comic book movies because I love the first Joker movie, and I'm actually surprised Joker 2 wasn't on that list because I thought more people would be excited for that. Because I mean, I know it's all rated, but so is Deadpool 3, so I'm actually surprised by that. The two other comic book movies that aren't on this list is Madam Web and Craven. Those are the two I'm not shocked by it because I'm going to be honest, I'm not all that hyped up for Craven and Madam Web. I think the trailers for it didn't do it. They've only had one trailer of Craven and one trailer for Madam Web, but I don't think the Craven trailer or the Madam Web trailer made people excited for those two movies. I think the other problem is, Sony had Mobius that came out. That movie like tanked critically and financially, and I just don't think people are all that into this idea of trying to do a Sony less Spider-Man verse without Peter Parker. I mean, all these characters are connected to Peter. And I also think they aren't too popular characters. Like Craven is a popular character, but he's a popular villain. And I can't really tell in the trailer they're trying to turn him into an anti-hero type character. You can do that with Venom, I feel, because okay, there is something in the comics where there's been times in comics where Eddie Brock has been a good guy, where he's been a hero. I mean, you had the whole comic book series one called Lisa Protector for Venom. So with Venom, I feel like you can get away with that. But with Craven, he's always been a villain, so I just don't find that idea interesting. And like I said, the trailer I don't think was very good. I think it was like one of those trailers I watched and went like, yeah, I'll check out these two movies because they're based on Marvel characters, but if they weren't based on Marvel characters, I probably wouldn't have any interest in them. And that's coming from somebody who loves Marvel. characters, Marvel Comics, but the trailers just didn't do. In my opinion, they were very lukewarm trailers. And Madam Web is even less popular than Craven. I mean, I remember when Madam Web movie was announced, people were like, "Who's Madam Web? Wait, why are they doing a Madam Web movie?" And yeah, there's some interesting elements, maybe with the time travel in Madam Web for the trailer, with the kind of reminded me of Terminator. But at the same time, the trailer, I don't think it was all that great. And they both feel like movies that would have came out like early 2000s. So I just don't think the trailers have made people excited for those two movies. So I'm not shocked those movies aren't on the list. And I don't know if those movies honestly are going to do all that well. Again, we're still early, so maybe as they put out more trailers from Matt Web and Craven, it'll get people to go. So, and look, this is just a you know, Fango list doesn't tell me whether the movie's gonna do good or not at the box office. And those could end up being really fun and great movies, Matt Web and Craven. But I'm not surprised they're not on the list at this point right now because I don't think neither of the trailers for those two movies have gotten people really excited yet for those movies. But overall, I think it's a great list. Like I said, 9 out of 10 movies I can't wait to see next year. And I love just going over, like looking over the list because I'm always excited when a new year is getting to the end of a year and you have a new year starting because you have that as a movie fan. I feel like, okay, we're gonna have a new year of movies and we're all hoping all these movies we're excited for are gonna turn out to be great. But it's always exciting when you when you see what movies are coming out in the new year. So I think it's a great list. That's all the movie topics today. Until next time, movie fans.